you guys doing? My name's Jeremiah Hersey, and welcome to another edition of the Hersey House. Today we're going to be talking about Microsoft Flows and how to create a simple flow for an app that you've created. So we're going to take a look at make.powerapps.com. This is an application that I created, and it goes through and looks at the different laptops and allows you to compare the different types. So if I select this Samsung and this this Pavilion, I can click compare in the bottom right hand corner, and notice that it pops up. I can select the computer that I want and then send it off to whether it be approved or not. But what I would like to do today is set up a flow so that this happens automatically. As someone submits a new device request, the flow is automatically going to be created and send us an email where we can click right in our email or our phone or in Teams, and we can just send it straight off to be accepted or denied. So to do this, we're going to go to make.powerapps.com and we're going to go to our flows. Now, once again, I've already created the app. I already have the tables, I already have the different columns. And so in order to create a flow, you must first have that information available. And in this case, I'm writing back to a database. So let's just call this demo flow. And we can skip this part because we're going to create it on the next screen. So this is our flow screen, and notice that we have a bunch of different options to choose from. The first thing we're going to talk about is a trigger. A trigger is an action that kicks off a flow. So in order to start a flow, we have to have a trigger. In our case, it's going to be when a record is updated or created. So we just type in when a record, and notice that we have a couple of different things pop up. I'm going to use this right here because I'm using a CDS database. Notice it is a premium connector, so you would have to have a premium Office account in order to use this. So when a record is created, updated, or deleted, and of course I can change this name to whatever I want. The trigger condition in this case is going to be whether a record is created or updated. Zoom in so you guys can see this a little bit better. The entity name, for me, this is the name of your table. So it says entity, but they just recently changed the name. So an entity is a table. That's my device order table. And then for the scope, this is who's going to have access to this. And I'm just going to say the organization. And we're done with that first step. And let's go on to our next step. So notice that when you click next step, is ask you to choose an action. Okay, so the action that we're going to choose in this case is the approval action. So notice that we have 3 different options here. We have wait for an approval, start and wait, or create. For us, we're going to choose start and wait for an approval. So this brings up an option type. Okay, so approve, reject. Everyone must approve. Approve, reject, first to respond. And then here's some custom responses. I don't really care that everybody has to approve this, just one person. Notice that when we choose that, it gives us an option. So it says to create a title for the approval. Over here on the right hand side, notice that we get this dynamic box. So we have options here that we can search through. So in this case, we're going to choose a new device request. So we're going to say this is the device name. Notice we can click that and it pops it right in here. So the title is going to be device name, but this is like creating an email, right? So I want to give it a little bit better title. I'm going to say new device request, put a semicolon, and then I'm going to put the device name just to make it look a little bit nicer. Because remember, this is an email that's going to get sent out. So it says assign to. So you could just put someone's email address in here, like the boss or whoever's going to be approving these orders, or you can just put your name in there for testing purposes. So I'm going to say J. Hersey at Pragmatic Works. I'm going to be assigned to that. And so the details, think of the details kind of like your body of your email. And so I'm going to say a new device has been requested, period. And then I'm going to put in, once again, the device name. I'm going to put in a $sign. And I'm going to put the price in here as well. So it says device price. I could also put maybe some comments if they left any comments in there. Perfect. All right, so we're good with that. That's our approval part. And now we're going to click next step. So the last part is going to be the control. Now the control is like an if-then statement. So you'll notice if yes, if no pops up. So for this condition, we want to set the outcome of approval is equal to approve. Now remember when we select the approval up here, it gave us the option approve or reject. In this case, we're going to set the outcome equal to approve. If this is true, if yes, we need to add an action. So if it's yes, we want to go ahead and update that record. So update a record. And then once again, our entity name is the same thing as a table. So it's going to be our device order. And then the item ID, that's a unique identifier specifically for this. So notice how this, I'm going to zoom in real quick. Notice how this device order right here is a unique identifier for entity instances. So that is what I'm going to use for that item ID. Notice it has to be a unique identifier. For the device name, of course, we could put device name. For price, we could choose the price. Go ahead and delete that. Now, the only thing else that we need to do is go to Show Advanced Options, and where it says Approval Status, we need to change that to Approve. That's the only thing we need to do here. Now, here's the cool part, guys, right? We just did all this. We don't have to do it again. What you're going to do is you're going to click the ellipsis, and you're going to click Copy to my clipboard. Because essentially, we wanted to do the same thing whether it was approved or rejected, right? But we just want to have those two different statuses. So we're going to go to Add an Action over here. And then right here, we have the option for My Clipboard. That's where we just copied that updated record. So notice now it pops in over here. So the only thing that we have to change over here is change our approval status from approve to reject. Perfect. So now let's check out what we have so far. So we have when a record is created or deleted or updated, excuse me, we selected not to have it deleted. We want to start and wait for an approval. If the condition is approved, update that record with the approval status. If it's denied, update it with the denial status. let's go ahead and set up an email just to verify. Let's say that we want to let the person know that their item has been approved or rejected. So this is going to be a dynamic column. Once again, these are all things that I created in my app. So requested by is the person that requested the item, and that automatically fills in. So I can call out to it here. It is a column in my device order table. Subject is, let's say, device has been approved. In the body, say congrats. Like I said, this is very informal, but you get the idea. Okay, we're going to do the same thing over here. Of course, we could copy and paste like I just showed you, but I have to change the different things, so it's fine. So once again, this is going to be requested by. We're going to send it back to them. Your request has been denied. Sorry for the inconvenience. All right. Perfect. All right, so now we have everything that we need. Let's go ahead and click save. All right, it looks like it's saved okay. So up here in the upper right-hand corner, notice we have a couple of different options. We have flow checker and we have a test. So let's just check our flow checker. Looks like we have no errors, no warnings, which is good. So let's test this thing. Notice we have two options. I'll perform a trigger action, use data from previous runs. It says there are no runs for this flow. Well, that's because we just created it. So let's test. So notice now up here, it says, to see it work now, perform the starting action. This might take a few moments. Well, remember what the starting action is. The starting action is submitting this device request. So let's submit the Series 5. Say, I want this one. Okay, notice that the approver is right here. You could also change that as well. And it says your device has been successfully submitted. So let's go check out our flow. So it says your flow is running. Notice that right now it's on step 1. Okay. Next, it should send me an email. So let me bring over my email into here. So notice right here, the Series 5. Here's our approval. It sent me an email. And it says your new device, Samsung Series 5, has been requested. I want this one. I'm going to go ahead and click approve. You got it, buddy. Submit. And so if we go back to our flows, notice it says start and wait for approval. It's got the little orange dial right here saying that it's working. Pops up, seeking approval. And there we go. So notice they've got the green check marks. I just clicked approve. It says your flow ran successful. So that kicked off. And I also got the email for that as well. So that is it, guys. Thank you for joining me, the Hersey House. Here at Pragmatic Works, we work as a team. We also have free online training. If you go to pragmaticworkstraining.com, use a free 7-day trial. There's app in a day, dashboard in a day. Go check it out. Until next time, my name is Jeremiah Hersey. Thanks for joining the Hersey House.